Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Improve English. I'm your host, Alex, and today we have a very special episode for all of you who are planning to study, work, or move abroad. We're diving deep into something that's a gateway to many global dreams, the IELTS exam.
That's right, Alex. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, and I specialize in helping students prepare for IELTS. Today, I'll walk you through everything you need to know from what IELTS is. 2 tips for each section: scoring, preparation, and much more. We'll make sure even complete beginners walk away with a full understanding.
Let's begin with the basics. Sarah, for someone who has never heard of IELTS before, what exactly is it?
IELTS stands for the International English Language Testing System. It is a standardized test that evaluates your ability to use English in real-life situations. It's designed for non-native English speakers who want to prove their English proficiency. For purposes like studying at a university, applying for a job, or immigrating to an English-speaking country, it tests for key skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are considered the core pillars of communication.
So, it's more than just an exam, it's a tool for global mobility.
Exactly. It's accepted by more than 11,000 institutions across over 140 countries. Whether you're planning to attend a university in the UK, get a job in Australia, or apply for permanent residency in Canada, IELTS is often a key requirement.
Are there different types of IELTS tests?
Yes, and it's crucial to choose the right one. There are 2 main versions. IELTS Academic. This is meant for those applying for higher education or professional registration. It focuses on the language used in academic settings. You'll encounter vocabulary and formats typical in university classrooms, scientific articles, and academic discussions. IELTS General Training. This is suitable for those who are planning to migrate, gain work experience, or undergo non-academic training. The language and topics are more practical and based on everyday life situations, like job ads, manuals, or public notices.
So, students and professionals might choose academic while migrants go for general training?
That's absolutely correct. Knowing your goal helps you choose the right tests because while the listening and speaking sections are the same, reading and writing are different in each version.
Let's dive into the structure. Can you break down each section of the IELTS exam?
Certainly. The IELTS is about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and it's divided into 4 parts. Asterisk, the first part is 30 minutes and 10 minutes to transfer answers. Asterisk. Second part is a boot reading, which is of 60 minutes. Asterisk. Third is about writing, is of 60 minutes. Asterisk. The fourth and last one is speaking, which is of 11 to 14 minutes. Let's start discussion about all 4 parts. The first one is 1. Listening. 30 minutes plus 10 minutes to transfer answers. In this section, you'll listen to 4 recordings, including conversations, monologues, and academic discussions. These recordings include a mix of British, Australian, and other English accents. There are 40 questions, and they test your ability to understand main ideas, factual information, opinions, and attitudes.
Do candidates get to hear the recordings more than once?
No, and that's what makes it challenging. Each recording is played only once, so active listening is key. You must listen carefully and simultaneously read the questions and write your answers.
What kind of tasks appear here?
Tasks include multiple choice, matching, form, completion, note completion, and sentence completion. The difficulty increases as the test progresses. Second section of IELTS is reading, which is about 60 minutes long. In this section has 40 questions based on 3 reading passages. In the academic version, passages come from academic texts like journals, books, or reports. In the general version, you'll get everyday texts like job descriptions, advertisements, and public notices.
Are the questions just about finding the right word?
Not at all. They test a range of skills, identifying the writer's opinion, finding the main idea, understanding details, skimming and scanning for specific information, and recognizing the writer's tone or argument structure. Question types include matching headings, completing sentences, true, false, not, given, and short answers. Third section is about writing Gond. Its duration is 60 minutes. There are 2 writing tasks. Academic IELTS. Task 1. You're asked to describe, summarize, or explain visual information. A graph, table, chart, or diagram. Task 2. You write an essay responding to a problem, argument, or opinion. In general, IELTS. Task 1. Write a letter. It could be formal to a company, semi-formal to a neighbor, or informal to a friend. Task 2. Write an essay similar to the academic one, but usually using simpler topics or wording.
And task 2 is more important?
The last and fourth part is speaking, and its duration is about 11 to 14 minutes long. This is a face-to-face interview with a trained IELTS examiner. It's divided into 3 parts. Introduction cue, card, introduction is about 4 to 5 minutes long. And in this section, you answer questions about yourself, like your hometown, hobbies, and daily routine. Cue card is of 3 to 4 minutes asterisk. In this section, you're given a topic on a card and have 1 minute to prepare. Then you talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Discussion lasts for 2 to 5 minutes. During discussion, you have a deeper conversation on the theme of your cue card. This part checks how well you express complex ideas.
What are they evaluating in this part?
Your fluency, pronunciation, grammatical accuracy, and vocabulary range. It's important to stay calm and treat it like a conversation, not a test.
Now let's talk scores. What's this 9-band scale I hear about?
IELTS uses a band scale from 0 to 9 to assess English proficiency. Band 9 stands for an expert user, someone who uses English fluently, accurately, and effortlessly. Band 8 means a very good user. They speak fluently with only occasional mistakes. Band 7 shows a good user. They have good command of English but may make some errors. Band 6 means a competent user able to understand and use English in everyday situations, though with some issues. Band 5 stands for a modest user, someone who can handle basic communication but with noticeable mistakes. Band 4 and below means the user has limited ability in English and struggles to communicate clearly. Each band reflects a different level of proficiency, helping institutions and employers understand your ability to use English in real-life settings.
What is the minimum IELTS band score that most universities typically require for admission, especially for international students applying to English-speaking institutions?
Most universities in English-speaking countries generally require international students to achieve a minimum overall IELTS band score ranging between 6.0 and 7.5, depending on the institution, program, and level of study. For undergraduate programs, many universities accept a minimum overall score of 6.0 or 6.5 with no individual section listening, reading, writing, or speaking falling below 5.5 or 6.0. However, competitive programs, especially in fields such as law, medicine, journalism, or education, set higher requirements, often expecting an overall band score of 7.0 or above. For postgraduate or master's programs, the expected proficiency level is usually higher. Many institutions ask for a minimum overall score of 6.5 or 7.0 with strong performance in writing and speaking in particular. Again, the specific requirement can vary based on the course and the university's language policy. It's also worth noting that some universities may offer conditional admission if your IELTS score is slightly below their minimum. In such cases, students are often asked to complete a pre-sessional English course before starting their academic program. In summary, while IELTS requirements vary across universities and programs, aiming for a minimum band score of 6.5 or higher will meet the entry standards for most institutions and increase your chances of admission.
Now, Sarah, kindly guide how frequently is the IELTS test offered throughout the year, and can candidates choose a test date based on their personal convenience or academic timeline?
Yes, sure, Alex. The IELTS test is conducted multiple times throughout the year, offering great flexibility for candidates. In fact, test dates are available almost every week in many locations worldwide, especially for the computer-based version. This means that you can choose a date that suits your personal schedule, preparation level, or academic deadlines for those taking the paper-based test. It may be held up to 4 times a month, depending on your test center. It's important to check availability in advance because some test centers fill up quickly, especially during peak seasons like university admission periods. In short, IELTS is designed to be highly accessible, allowing test takers to plan their exam according to their needs and time.
What is the official process for students to register for the IELTS test, and what steps should they follow to successfully complete their registration?
Registering for the IELTS test is a simple and straightforward process, and it can be done entirely online or in person depending on your preference and the availability in your region. To begin, students need to visit the official IELTS website or the website of an authorized test center such as the British Council IDP or Cambridge Assessment. There, you can create an account, select your preferred test type, academic or general training, and choose your desired test, date, and location. You'll also see whether the test is offered in a computer-based or paper-based format at your chosen center. Once you've selected your test session, you'll need to upload a valid identification document, usually a passport or national ID, and pay the registration fee, which varies slightly depending on your country or test center. After completing the payment, you'll receive a confirmation email with your test details, including the date, time, and venue. Make sure to double-check this information and prepare accordingly. Many centers also offer free preparation materials or access to practice tests, so it's worth exploring those resources once you register. Overall, the registration process is designed to be user-friendly and accessible, making it easy for students to book their test with confidence.
Could you walk us through what a typical IELTS test day looks like for candidates? From arrival at the test center to completing all sections of the exam, and what kind of experience they should be prepared for.
On the day of the IELTS test, candidates are advised to arrive at the test center at least 30 minutes before the scheduled time. Upon arrival, they'll be asked to present a valid ID, typically the same identification they used during registration. After that, biometric data, like a photograph and fingerprints, may be taken as part of the identity verification process. Once all candidates are verified, they are escorted to their respective exam rooms. The test begins with the listening section, followed immediately by the reading and then the writing sections. These three parts are completed without any breaks in between, so it's important to be well rested and prepared. Each section is carefully timed, and instructions are clearly provided before each part starts. You'll be given a pencil and paper, and your responses will be written or recorded, depending on the section.
Now that we've covered the basics of the IELTS exam, let's turn our attention to what many consider the most crucial aspect: preparation. With so many resources and strategies available, it can be overwhelming for students to decide where to begin. So, what are some of the most effective ways to prepare for the IELTS exam, and how can candidates ensure they are practicing the right skills to achieve a high band score?
Preparing for the IELTS exam effectively requires a smart, structured approach rather than just studying hard. The first step is to understand the format of the test. Familiarize yourself with each section: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Knowing what to expect can greatly reduce test day anxiety and improve performance. Next, practice consistently. Use official IELTS preparation materials, past papers, and online practice tests to simulate the exam environment. This will help you build stamina, manage time efficiently, and identify your strengths and weaknesses. For the speaking and writing sections, get feedback from experienced teachers or join IELTS preparation groups. Practice speaking on a variety of topics and write essays under timed conditions. Focus on improving grammar, vocabulary, and coherence. Listening to English Daily through podcasts, news channels, and conversations can sharpen your listening skills and improve pronunciation. Lastly, create a study schedule that spreads your preparation over several weeks or months, depending on your current level. Set realistic goals, track your progress, and don't forget to take breaks to avoid burnout. In short, the best preparation strategy combines understanding the test format, consistent practice, expert feedback, and immersive learning. This comprehensive approach not only boosts your confidence, but significantly increases your chances of achieving a high band score.
Once a candidate has taken the IELTS exam, how long does it typically take for them to receive their results? And through what means are these results usually delivered?
Once a candidate has completed the IELTS exam, the delivery time for results depends on the format in which the test was taken. For those who take the computer-delivered IELTS, results are typically available within 3 to 5 days. On the other hand, candidates who opt for the paper-based test can expect to receive their results in approximately 13 calendar days after the test date. The results are accessible online through the official IELTS website, where candidates can log in using their personal details. Additionally, a test report form TRF is mailed to the candidate's registered address. In some cases, institutions or universities may receive a copy directly if this was requested at the time of registration. It's important for candidates to keep their TRF safe, as it serves as the official document accepted by educational institutions, immigration authorities, and employers around the world.
Is it possible for students to have their IELTS scores sent directly to the universities or institutions they are applying to? And if so, how does that process work?
Yes, absolutely. One of the helpful features of the IELTS exam is that students can request their scores to be sent directly to the universities or institutions they are applying to. During the registration process, candidates can select up to 5 institutions to receive their IELTS results free of charge. These institutions will receive an official test report form TRF either electronically or by mail, depending on the preference of the university. If a student wants to send scores to additional institutions after taking the test, they can still do so by submitting a request through the test center where they took the exam. However, this may involve a small administrative fee for each additional TRF. It's important to check each university's IELTS requirements beforehand, including whether they prefer paper or electronic delivery and the deadline for receiving scores. Sending your results directly through the IELTS system is considered official and ensures the authenticity of your scores. It's important to check each university's IELTS requirements beforehand, including whether they prefer paper or electronic delivery and the deadline for receiving scores. Sending your results directly through the IELTS system is considered official and ensures the authenticity of your scores.
Finally, Sarah, if a student is just beginning their IELTS journey today, what would be your most valuable advice or words of encouragement to help them start strong and stay motivated throughout their preparation?
That's a great question. For anyone just starting their IELTS journey, my first piece of advice would be, don't panic. Begin by understanding the test format and what each section requires. Familiarize yourself with the band descriptors and know what the examiners are looking for. Create a realistic study plan that includes consistent practice, not just cramming at the last minute. Use authentic materials and practice tests to build your confidence. And make English a part of your daily life. Watch shows in English, read newspapers, and speak with others as much as you can. Also, don't ignore your weaknesses, work on them patiently.
That was beautifully said, Sarah. Thank you so much for sharing your time, knowledge, and insights. You've made the entire IELTS journey feel a lot clearer and less overwhelming for everyone listening today. Your guidance is truly appreciated.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure being here. I'm really glad I could help clarify things for your audience. To everyone preparing for IELTS, just stay consistent, stay confident, and remember, progress comes with practice. Wishing you all the best on your journey.
If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with friends. We'll be back with more English mastery tips and success stories. Until then, stay focused, stay inspired.
Bye, everyone, and best of luck with your IELTS journey.